What's up everyone, Binley here. So, a handful of my subscribers have requested a full gameplay commentary of Draven for quite some time now, and I'm finally going to give it to you. So, the reason why I have not released this commentary for quite some time now is because I personally believe my commentary is not that great, so bear with me if there's times where I'm just silent, but I'll try my best. So, well, I can tell you what's happening right here is that we're not warding, and obviously Blitzcrank right there. You see, Blitzcrank is going to invade because that's what they do. A Blitzcrank on the enemy team is going to invade. Like, that's a given. At least 8 out of 10 games, if not more. And our team should have stood on guard because we would have known that the Blitz was invading, but we didn't, and that's just what happens. Oh, and by the way, this is not a live commentary. I did play this game earlier today, and I'm commentating over it right now, just because I cannot commentate when I am playing, just because I'm focusing really hard when I am in game. But I'll still comment over it and basically explain my mindset and what I was thinking at the time that these events are happening. So I'm going to start spinning my first axes right now at 135. I usually always do that. That lets me get 2 axes to go into lane with, and I usually leash by giving 3 autos. Preferably all 3 of those autos will be with the spinning axes, but only 2 of them were. So it's alright though. Kendrick got a good enough leash. What I'm going to do right here is just CS as normal. I'm going to try to play it safe around this Blitzcrank because I'm sure all of you Draven players know that Blitzcranks are horrible to face. It just sucks that they can see where your axis is going to land. I personally think that that's bullcrap. I don't think that it's really fair that the enemy should be able to see where my axes are going to be. But a lot of people will argue that's what balance is. I don't think it's balanced. I think it's not balanced at all, but let me know what you think in the comments if that's a fair enough balancing thing to do with Draven. I'm going to be staying behind this little minion wave that I have to avoid myself from getting hooked from Blitzcrank, and I'm basically just going to CS. If I see that Blitzcrank, misses a hook, I will go in on Ezreal really hard for some harass, because I do not want to, I don't want to take any risks by harassing him when Blitzcrank can hook me. So I'm just going to be CSing as normal here. And this is what I usually do versus Blitzcranks in this elo, just because it's really not worth throwing by getting hooked when you can just try your best to avoid it. So I'm only going to go in and harass when I know for sure that I cannot get hooked. That is being that his hook is on cooldown. When I do harass, I will usually wait until I'm about to catch an axe, activate my W, that right before I catch my axe. That'll give me the leverage to use my W again as soon as I can, because it'll reset the cooldown right when I catch that one. And you see right here, I go in, do a little harass because I still thought Blitzcrank was behind. And it's just going to be basically rinse and repeat until either I get a kill, I get a gank, or until time just goes on and the lane ends. So right here, you see that I get hooked, which is really bad. Because we're not under the turret, I'm just going to run away while attacking the Ezreal, and we will be able to win this trade. So what I could have done was just flash away immediately, but if you're playing a Draven versus an Ezreal, like, your damage is going to be stronger. So it's better to just, like, if you're not underneath the turret range and you trust in your Janna, then you can just fight it out and run away. And I feel like that's a mistake that a lot of people will do, is every time that they get pulled by Blitzcrank, the first immediate thing they're going to do is just go right towards their flash or their heal. And there's no reason to really waste that unless you really need to, because it's going to be really bad if you get ganked and you don't have that. And I'm trying to bring the wave back as much as I can. I do have a bad tendency of pushing the lane really hard, even against Blitzcranks, which I know I should not do, because you obviously do not want to be, you know, stuck behind or close to their tower range when you're facing a Blitzcrank for the hook reasons. Now I know his hook's on cooldown, so I'm going to be trying to harass Ezreal right here. You see I proc the W, flash in, and this was my mistake. I flashed in because I saw the blitz that the Volibear was there, and I just did not want to get killed, but I'm trying my best just to kill the Ezreal because I know he's greedy right before I die. And so we trade. I got 346 gold from the League of Draven and 300 gold from the kill for Blitzcrank getting a kill there. So I'd say that the trade was pretty worth it. Well, that was a really risky play that I did by flashing forward. I saw that the Volibear was behind me, so I was just like, okay, well, I might as well try to get this kill before I die. And had that Ezreal not been stupid and greedy trying to get the kill off of me, then I would have died for nothing. So the better thing that I should have done was just flash away. In that case, it worked out, and I got lucky. But not in every case it works out. But you know, you can decide if you want to play aggressively or not. I say that playing aggressively is, or even in situations like that, sometimes is the better play to do a Draven, just because you know you have the damage, you know you can do it. But it's not always the smart decision to make. It was just a heat of the moment thing, and you have to make those decisions yourself. Whether if it's if you should go in, and if you know you can get the kill, or if you should flash away and make the safer play. So right now I see that the Blitzcrank is not around this lane, so I'm going to be hyper aggressive around this Ezreal. I don't want him to be able to get any farm. And now I see that the Blitzcrank is coming back to lane. And what you want to do is just always be hyper aggressive when you know it's a 2v1 situation that the enemy ADC does not have their support with them. You want to be as aggressive as possible, deny them as much farm as you can, and maybe get a kill on them. Now I'm being way too overextended right now because their entire team is missing, and Gangplank is even pinging that, so I should be worried about a gank coming. And you notice that the Blitzcrank all of a sudden is being aggressive, and that's how you know that a gank is on its way. I see the Volibear comes in here, and I'm just going to run away and try to poke him while I'm running so that I can get a kill just like that. The Gangplank really helped there. Clean up this Ezreal, and then Blitz pulls me to his death. Now, I was not expecting that Volibear gank, even though I should have been at the time, because we were overextended. He was MIA, and we're just pretty lucky that we were still able to pull it through. That's the number one thing that you need to do when you're getting ganked, is to be poking them while you're running away, and in that situation where they were on the Janna. Because if you're just running away, like, if I was not poking them while I was running, they would have killed the Janna and no one would have died. So that's a huge thing about getting ganked, is that you need to be always doing damage even when you're running. The kiting is very important to be able to maintain. Now I know that since I have a Yumu's and this Ezreal has like just a sheen, that I can really out damage him. I'm gonna win any fight against him, but I'm not gonna play aggressive right here just because the minion wave is way too big. That CS is more important, including if I did fight here, all of those minions would be attacking me at the same time I'm attacking them, and there's no need to give them any advantage right now. Now, I don't know where the Blitzcrank is, but I'm going to play aggressive on this Ezreal, and there he is. So I'm running away, and I'm going back in. I know if I get pulled here, it's not that big a deal, because as long as I'm not underneath their turret, then I will be fine, because my damage is way superior to theirs. Here comes Rise for a gank, and I notice that, so I'm going to back off. And I see that he's running away, so I'm going to go back in. But I'm still a little wary for a Volibear gank. But I'm going to go aggressive as much as I can here, just because I do have that advantage of having 3 kills plus League of Draven on me. Now they're all fighting mid, so what I need to do here is just push. And Janna and the Blitzcrank are going mid, so I'm actually at an advantage here because I know that I can destroy this Ezreal if he gets close to me. So I'm just going to push into him as much as I can. And if he gets too close, he's going to die. Now Shen is TPing here. I just noticed it a little late. I waited for him to use his taunt, and then I flashed away, proc my Yumu's, and this is going to be a running battle for quite some time here. Now, my plan here is just to wait, try to get away from them as much as I can, and hopefully have the turrets kill them. Just throwing off my my E to peel, and then he dies like an idiot. And then here comes the Ezreal, which Gangplank will clean up. So it works out. Now, that's the important thing, is to wait for the Shen to use his. You know he's going to use his taunt, so there's no reason to flash before he uses that, because he'll just taunt you right away, and I would have died if that happened. Although the smarter thing to do would be to flash while he taunts, that way you don't get taunted at all. But I'm bad. Ezreal is going to get destroyed, because this lane, at this point in time, you have a Draven with a lot of kills and a lot of Adoration bonus gold versus an Ezreal with, I think he's got like 1 kill. I know that I can play as aggressive as I want here at this point in time, so that's going to be the new plan. And I do not want Ezreal to get any farm that he can. I'm going to try to deny him as much as possible. And I have the right to be a big bully now because I'm super fed. Now I see that mid's missing, but I don't care because I know I know that with me and Janna can take at least 3 of them. And rises back at his lane. It's still the same situation where I'm trying not to get pulled, but at the same time I want to be giving off the harassment for that bush, so when Blitz goes in there, I'll see when he's trying to get a hook off. And I'm just gonna play as aggressive as I can, because I know that everything's gonna be fine. Gangplank ults here, which is pretty nice, and Kindred comes to the rescue. I'm just gonna play as back as I can and just try to get as much damage off before they all run away. Now that's a really nice thing too about having a Gangplank on your team, or just anyone with global presence, is that you can play a little too aggressive if you need to. It's just the main key is if you know you're stronger than them, just don't put yourself in a position where a Blitzcrank can pull you underneath the tower. But I didn't really care at that point. If as long as I wasn't underneath the tower when I was pulled, then I knew I'd be able to 2v1 them really easily. So now I'm gonna build a Bloodthirster. and work my way towards getting the mid tower because the bot tower is gone, so there's no real reason to stay down there. Because when you're lane and you're 5-1, you really need to be pushing more objectives rather than just camping the same lane. Now I ping that I'm coming mid, and I'm really looking to fight here. But at the same time, my teammates are backing off, and they have all their teammates up here, and there's no reason to get hooked and die to 4 of them attacking me. So now the main objective is to just get all the towers that we can and get any picks where we can. I'm gonna finish this tower off right here, and then push a little, just push it out a little bit. I don't want to go too far because everyone on their team is missing. So I'm gonna back off right here. I'm gonna ward their jungle, and that was kind of a risky thing to do, but I wanted to finish this just this camp off so that none of them could get it. Even though it was Kindred's mark, it was in a position where they were going to get it or I was going to get it, so I decided to just go and take it. Now, we're going to be basically just trying to cause as much pressure as we can in the mid lane for the time being, so Gangplank can be, pushing top, and we'll be pushing mid, and just not allowing them to really do anything except try to defend for the next, for the duration of the middle phase of this game. I decided to go for the Scuttler because there's nothing else to do at the mid lane for now. There's no CS to do, and I was kind of salty about Kindred taking that, but it's fine, I'm fed enough anyway. But we're gonna play pretty passively here because we don't want to get caught like this Kindred is right now. And then just go in whenever we see an opening. I am being a little over aggressive here, but just trying to get as much poke in as I can. And I see that they're coming in to fight the Corki in their jungle, so we're gonna run over and try to intercept them and then possibly take this top turret because we have minions pushing in the mid lane, so just trying to create as much map pressure as we can for the time being. Now we notice that Volibear is coming back here. We're gonna back off so we can maybe try to catch him if he tries sneaking behind us again, and we're gonna ward up that area. Now we know that Volibear is mid, so we can win a fight really easily if they do engage, and that's what we're looking for. But we do not want to be fighting underneath their turret. Now they see that Kindred is in the jungle and they're going to try to snag her, but it was a big mistake to even go in there. And I decided to just attack the turret for the time being because I was pretty confident that the fight was not going to happen right there, and I might as well be pushing. I see that Blitzcrank gets pulled, so I'm going to kill him as fast as I can and still attack the turret. And now we can just take this turret for free because it's a 5v4. Now I want to run in and kill that Ezreal really badly, but I'm terrified of the Volibear pulling me to just flip me when I went in, so we all decide to back off. we did get a turret out of that. Now, I was really stupid for turning around and trying to attack that Ezreal because of this happening. Fortunately, it was fine because I had a Janna who could heal me, I had flash and heal, so I was able to get out of that situation, but this whole team fight could have turned out way worse than it did. Now, I call for the dragon because it's going to be up in about 20 seconds. Because at this point, we don't really have... At this point, they have to just be trying to defend the towers as much as they can. So I know that we can just freely take the dragon. Gangplank was way overextended there, but it happens. I decided to start this dragon right now, even though I know that Volibear is around. I was confident that I could get enough damage in it and that we could just take it freely. And now we're just going to be pushing other towers. I see that John is caught, and I decide that it's not worth even running in there to try to save her just because I would have died too. So I decided to try to catch that Rise instead, which he was already doomed. I go the long way around to mid because I don't want Blitzcrank to hook me. And then it's going to be the same old game. Now, I was really confident that the Kindred was actually going to take that red from me since she took the scuttle earlier, but she was nice and she respected the Binley. Gameplank's getting caught again, but we're going to go and try to save him. Now, they didn't have wards, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be pushing that far. And we decide to destroy their entire team, and by their entire team I mean 2 people. Now with 2 of them dead, we know for sure that we're gonna have 3 of them dead. We know for sure we're gonna have the pushing power. 4 of them dead. We're gonna know that we can take this tower finally. I decide to attack that just to keep my axes spinning, and even though I did take aggro for a half a second, and we're gonna take this inhibitor for free. I see that they're spawning in 10 seconds. There's no reason to overstay like this Kalista wants to, so we all decide to unanimously leave. And the next objective would be either mid or bot. Bot lane would be the better objective to take because it would split them far apart since they do have super minions pushing from the top lane, but we decide to be pushing mid here anyway. I am way too overextended there, so I back out. And I remember that there was a ward here from earlier, so I just decided to clear it. Now I decide to go aggressive on the Rise, thus proccing his ultimate and just baiting it out. I was not going to go all the way in on him, but I feel that proccing my Yumu's for the Rise ultimate is a fair trade. Now I don't want to play too aggressively here because I didn't know where they were on the map, so I'm just going to play back as much as I can. There's no reason to get caught like that. It was really bad for me to be overextending, like how I was just talking about how I shouldn't be. And it was really bad that I got caught because my team really needs me to be alive. They're all gonna die in a fight if I'm not around. And This is exactly what happens. Now, I know it's easy to like be like, oh, guys, come on, when bad things like that happens, but I really would say that I'm the person to blame there, because I got caught, and had I not been caught, that wouldn't have happened. So it's a minor setback. I figure that they're doing Baron, so I picked up a Farsight ward, and yeah, that's gonna be really bad if they get Baron. Now I could ult the Baron, but I just decided, well, let's kill the Ezreal, and then let's just do what we can to clear them from the Baron. This is pretty ballsy of me, but we needed to get them off the Baron, so me and Kindred just decide to destroy their entire team. There's no reason to let them have a Baron. And now with 4 of them dead, you know, everyone on their team except the Blitzcrank, we should be in the clear to end this game. I decided to clear this pink, which was not necessary at all, because we just needed to push and end. But I like clearing pinks, what can I say? Now we're gonna take this second inhibitor, and then we're trying to we really want to end here, but we're just gonna take a tower, and then we're gonna back off, because we can not back off. We can kill them all. They have no chance. Now we'll back off. I was calling to back off just because, you know, we were kind of weak. We probably could have stayed and fought, but I'd rather play the safe road just because we have two inhibitors anyway, and I figure there's no reason for all of us to just die and potentially throw when we have this much of a lead. So we could just take the dragon back, go bot, you know, for the easy finish and the clean finish. So I'm gonna pick up an Infinity Edge and then a Last Whisper. And then I already have a red buff, so I don't need to go take ours. And we're just gonna go push bot and take the and just finish the game off safely. And Corky wants to just go mid. Me and Jana are agreeing it's not smart to just go mid, because they're playing super defensively anyway. We might as well just take these free objectives. Like there's no reason to just play super aggressive unless, you know, we get a catch or something, because we just cleanly finish the game and take everything they have. So we're trying to catch the Shen there, but he's Shen, so obviously he's gonna get away. And now we're just waiting for the Kindred and Corky to wreak havoc in the mid lane, so their team will have to split up and we'll be able to cause pressure all throughout the map while we're pressuring this one. But they decide that they're just gonna go and kill people, so we need to come in and help finish the game. We're gonna kill them all, and I'm just looking for more kills here. Volibear probably could have flash flipped me and I would have died, but it was a cleaner finish. Probably could have finished it earlier, but I like playing the safe route. And then we get a win. And thank you for making it this far into my commentary. If you want to let me know that you actually watched it through to this point, you could write pineapple in the comments so I can know if there's actually people who would sit here and watch my commentaries, because I personally don't think I'm that great at them. let me know if there's anything I can do to improve on them and what you thought of it. And have a good one.